Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you to Master Road Ministry International, DRMI. Welcome to the Road Less Traveled. My wife, Maria Ellis, Lonnie Ellis. We're so excited. Have my buddy from David Coggin from oh my gosh, bro, we go back. We go back a little ways. I'm excited for you to be here with us tonight. I don't give dates, but we probably first met in I don't know if it was 9th grade or 10th grade or where it was, back in Milpitas, California. And Milpitas back then was just a different kind of vibe and everything in life. And you were in the bands and stuff. I was doing drum corps, and we were partying back a little bit in life and doing things. But we lost touch for many years. And I think about 5 years ago, we got back in touch. Maybe 4 years ago, I moved back to Pleasant from the Valley and reconnected on Facebook. But before we do that, people, let me go back a little further. Tonight is a special message about physical awakening. A message God gave me to read back in 2009 in November about God is waking people physically to their bodies, to their temples, to their health. And since then, what's funny was when I got back in touch with Dave, we get 3 mandates back to the spiritual awakening, physical awakening, financial awakening. Tonight we're talking about physical awakening. Yes. But back then, before that happened, I met you, got in touch with you, and I started going to your house for a couple of times to work out. And you started talking to me about getting in shape. How we're not getting younger. You got to take care of yourself, Lonnie. I care about you. I like you planted seeds in me. And then we got married, and then God spoke to us in November last year about physical awakening. And since then, I've been watching you on Facebook Live and Facebook post, and you have just amazing awakenings in the physical awakening area. I want to share about who you are, where you're from, and a little about your journey. Hey people, it's raw, unrehearsed, no planned questions. We'll go 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour at the most, just to share. This is such an important topic. And David, before I bring you in, I want to share this with you. When God gave us this message, we start running so many people in the body of Christ and pre-believers are all of a sudden getting in shape. I dropped 50 pounds. Now, Maria's always worked out. She never put it on me. She never pressured me. But she's a great example. And what you poured into me in the beginning, and being her example, and then God speaking to me, I dropped 50 pounds. Now I got a little more work to do, don't get me wrong. But tell me who you are, how you came to this, your perspective, and why it's so important.
Well, good. I'll do that. And Lonnie and Maria, I really am honored to be here with you tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to inviting me into this message tonight, which is something that is very important to me. I'll just tell a little bit about myself. My name is David Coggin. I have 2 sons, Jesse, who is 35, and Eli, who's 34. We have a daughter. Her name is Brittany, who's 29. I have a grandson, Cameron, who's 15, and a granddaughter, Molly, who's 12.
Wow.
Yeah, so get your health right, and you can experience your grandchildren and even your great-grandchildren. So this is just a blessing for me, but it wasn't always like that. I mean, back in the day, I remember, being married and working long hours and just not having time to work out and take care of my health and fast food. And it's just like, over time, it got to a point where, it was like in 2009, and I was like the heaviest I'd ever been. I made a decision, and in that moment, I went and I grabbed my digital camera and I put it on the timer. I set it down. I took my shirt off and I took a picture of myself. And in that moment, that's when I decided the day that I was never going to look like that again. I signed up at a gym. I would go and spin 2 times a week. I would lift weights. And I would swim. And then the idea of competing in a triathlon was born. Now, I was like 40 or 50 pounds overweight, and that was just like this dream that was so big that I knew that if I kept at it over time, I would hit my goal, and I would get healthy and get fit. So, I lost some weight and did some, lost some weight and got healthy, but I hit a plateau and I couldn't lose any more weight. And then one day my son comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to try out this new program. It's called Insanity. You want to check it out?" And I'm like, "Sure, bring it over. Let's do it." Well, I don't know if you guys know about Insanity or have heard the name Shaun T, but this program in the beginning, like they have this thing to establish your baseline. And in the first 5 minutes of establishing my baseline, I was just gassed out. I couldn't do it. And I thought, man, if this can do, kick my butt this hard, I'm going to do it. So I started with the Beachbody programs, and that's how I got started in that. And again, I would lose some weight, but I would hit a plateau. And then, man, it was around 2007, and I hope you don't mind if I share this part of my story. It's kind of, I know you know it, but I just want to share because this is like, I want to give you the layout and what happened. And so it was 2007. Driving to work, I got a call from the hospital while recovering from a femoral neck fracture repair. Patty fell. My heart sank as I raced back to the hospital. How could this happen? X-rays confirmed the need for more surgery. Patty would lay in traction for 4 days and nights before the doctors could get back to repair the damage caused by the fall. Anytime she needed to make an adjustment in her position, it would bring on excruciating pain. Oh, they set up a button, but as you know, it only allows a prescribed dose, no matter how many times you push. I couldn't take it away, but I could time the button pushes to get her the most relief. Back home, wheelchair bound for 6 months. Time to get a second opinion. A Dr. Toma, hip replacement specialist. It could take weeks, even months to coordinate that type of surgery. But after looking at Patty's x-rays, we were elated. She was in the OR just 6 days later and up walking just 1 hour post-recovery. I was so grateful. It was life-changing. And then, well, living on pain meds, the new norm. Friday night date nights to the ER. By 2012, Patty had survived 17 major surgeries, 67 GI procedures, living on a diet of 33 pills per day, of 18 different medications from 6 different doctors. Some of the meds were so expensive, even with insurance, I had to ask, do you really need that prescription, or do we eat tonight? That was our bottom. But it says in Mark 9:23, if you can believe, all things are possible, and believe I did. I believe God could turn it around in an instant. Patty made a decision to get professional help, checked into an inpatient program to detox and get off all the opiates and pain meds. Patty did the deep work. When she got back, she had a connection with hummingbirds, even got a tattoo of one on her foot. Red, green, purple, blue, and the word victory. You see, she was on a mission of becoming a substance abuse counselor, and in 2015 was just 1 class away. She still struggled with digestive and motility issues. And then we got a call, a referral from a Stanford doctor, 1 doctor to look at her complete history. After that appointment, she said, "Thank you, my prayers have been answered." Another round of tests and more appointments to begin until April 14th, 2016, just a day before one of the last appointments of the round. I got home, I did my workout. We normally eat after that. Just let me sleep. So I ate, worked on the computer, and went to bed around 10. Normally I'd sleep till 3 or 4, but this night was different. This night, an angel of the Lord woke me around midnight. Was she dreaming? Patty, what's going on? Patty, She mumbled. I jumped up out of bed, went around to her side. Patty, get up. I was scared. I called 911. On April 15th, 2016, at 2:21 p.m., my wife was pronounced. She committed suicide. On April 22nd, the day of our 26th wedding anniversary, we laid Patty to rest. Just a few days after her service, I was walking to the backyard and stopped at the sliding glass door to see a hummingbird. Both eyes turned and stared. I'm okay. So I ask you, who could orchestrate this circle of life? 26 years to the day. God will guide your steps if you let him. He never wastes a pain. It says in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Through this season or tragedy in my life, an old dream has been reborn to serve with my gift in music and ministry, to give hope, to lead through grief, loss, and pain, and to inspire those to be the best versions of themselves. Thank you for listening. Now, from that day and that time, I still was plateaued in my weight and my health loss journey. It was a tremendous thing that I just dealt with, but I wanted to lead and serve, and I had to be able to write that story and then share it. And it took some time. It took a couple of years even. And through that, I met another friend that was getting really good results. And it was drinking this stuff. It was a white powder drink. You mix it up and then you just feel amazing. Okay. And it's like, if you've never experienced drinking pure therapeutic ketones, I highly encourage you to try it. It lights your brain on fire. If you don't know what it is a bioidentical ketone body that your body actually produces. Babies are born in ketosis, and when mothers breastfeed, they have ketones in their milk, and most of the people that are doing the ketogenic diet are doing it to enter into a state of ketosis. Now, what that means is you're in a fat burning state, and you do that by either doing a ketogenic diet where you work out harder than you ever have, you have no carbs and no sugars, and you sustain that for weeks on end, and then you get into ketosis. And that's why most people fail, is because they can't sustain that level of commitment to their nutrition and their working out. So it's a good thing to add to, whatever plan you're on. You don't have to be on a specific plan or any type of regimen. You can just simply drink it and add, ketone bodies to your blood. And, you can test it. It works every time you drink it. It puts ketones in your blood. That's what it is. And there too, again, I would got to a certain level. And by this time I'm down in the 200s plus 200 plus or minus 5 up to 208. And then I saw my buddy Giuseppe, and Giuseppe was rocking. Okay. And I'd watched him, and I'm skeptical, and I'm doing my own thing over here. And then I thought, you know what, this month I'm going to stick to my diet no matter what. And I'm going to, prove my stuff right. And it was a challenge. It was a challenge to do that. It looks like you lost.
You lost the video.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
It's a challenge to do that. So I saw him, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick to my guns, do it. And I still, had minimal results. And then I said, you know what, I pulled the trigger. I made the decision. I called Giuseppe, get me on the program. Let's do this. And within the first 2 months, I don't have my fancy slides. I wish I would have had my slide, because I have like a 1 month progress pic that This is where I was when I first started. Can you see that?
It looks good. Yeah.
That's
Dang,
when I made the decision to take my picture.
brave, man.
And so then I started, rocking this program. And it was like, that was like the one missing component that I needed was consistent nutrition. Every time I ate and put it in my mouth, it was the perfect macros and proteins and fats. And by doing that, the weight just simply fell off. I mean, I lost like between 20 and 25 pounds in the first month. I've continued to go down little by little. It's less now, but I have not been in the 170s, and I'm saying from 170 to 179, high 170s since high school. I mean, I think I remember one of my high school driver's license said 180. So if you want to get back to your high school weight, this is the vehicle. I mean, I struggled for decades with my nutrition. It wasn't because I wasn't working out. It wasn't because I was, doing the wrong things. Being consistent with my workouts and what I thought was eating right, it wasn't. And I had to learn the hard way. It took me decades to learn how to eat right. So that's a little bit of my story.
There's a lot of great details. I'm gonna go back and forth in it real quick. What's funny, my wife's a health coach too, like you and like Giuseppe. And here's the funny part. This is crazy. Okay, we go back. I'm gonna tell the people the true story. I graduated high school in 1980. Means I'm 58 years old. What year did you graduate, David? If you don't mind saying.
1980.
We're same graduating class, same high school. Okay. You kept the weight off this whole time. When you start your journey, every years ago, you kept, but you're not fluctuating. You get that little 5, 7, 8 pound thing, which is good to have. But you're not doing this yo-yo effect. Like I'm going 40 down 40, up 30 down 20, up 70, which is an amazing thing. But I want to go back a little bit because you said so much good information. Because I know you since like we graduated high school together, and life changed so much back then. This is also spiritual. Now, when we were in high school, now I don't know about you and me, but I think if I'm correct, I wasn't serving the Lord back then.
I was not.
I was smoking a little wacky tobacco. I was probably doing a little more drinking than I should be, and trying to do things I don't want to tell people online about I was doing back then, but it's in my book. Let's go back a little further. What draw you to the Lord?
Yeah, it was a tough time in my life and my marriage. As a matter of fact, we were separated, not living together at that time.
Tammy?
And I just remember, whenever I would go to sleep at night, I would, I was alone and all I had was my Bible. And I would get into that word and I would be on my face and I would, just cry out that I needed help and that I wanted this relationship to work. And then I went to a service at Cathedral of Faith.
Yep.
And our man Sean Smith was preaching that day.
Sean Smith. Shout out to Sean Smith.
And when he made his altar call, I'm like, man, I was at my lowest low, and I just said, Lord, you can have me.
Isn't this crazy? We do high school together, and older now. My wife, she about how many years ago? We're in a festival. We're in some kind of music festival in Brentwood.
Yeah.
At a winery, and she was with Giuseppe for the first time.
But I knew Giuseppe because we were in leadership at the same church.
At the church back in the day. I go back to Sean Smith from back, 15 years ago, maybe more. I don't even know no more. And God is amazing.
How can you tie all that together?
How it interconnects people.
Yeah.
We're all connected.
You can't even like plan it out. You can't map it. You can't.
Like who would think like me and him got connected in the first place?
Yeah.
And then you two are connected already.
Yeah.
Me, Giuseppe, and Tim are connected, and Michael Woodfield are connected. And then we come together, and it's like we're coming connected. And then you're talking, and like, wait a minute.
So God is beautiful that way.
Right.
And that's what people to get about this whole message. We're talking about physical awakening, but we're talking about spiritual awakening too, because it's not about, listen, I love the corporate church. I go to corporate church. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And God does too, by the way, people out there.
Amen.
But it's bigger than that too. It's about the connection he makes between all of us in life. I have met so many people who grew up in Milpitas that are so spiritually connected to God now.
Amen.
And not because they're older, because they went through stuff. And he was their only resource at the end of the day. It wasn't about right or wrong, good or bad. It's about he loves you anyway. Right?
Anyway.
So, now how long were you married, by the way?
Well, I laid her to rest on our 26th wedding anniversary, the day. And then when we're making the funeral arrangements, I'm like, can we pick another day so I don't have to and then I thought, you know what? Maybe this is God's plan, that he's bringing it full circle and bringing her home on that day.
And we connected shortly after that time frame, again, our lives again full circle. Because we never hung out. We were like best friends. Everybody in Milpitas knew each other.
Everybody was everybody's friend and brother, and we were family. That's how we rolled back then.
Doctors, stoners, the cholos, the football players, the athletes, the jocks, but everybody was just connected. You're just family. That's how it worked. And so when we connected again many years later, it was like time never passed. And to me, that's God too, So I'm actually another question, this unrehearsed, unplanned, no scripting. Why is it so important? I understand physically for your health to live the best life, to live healthy. But why is it so important spiritually, right, to be physically healthy? And your atmosphere and what you're experiencing.
Question out of my mouth.
Yeah, I think it all ties together, Lonnie. I mean, you really have to treat your body like it is your temple, and that is the place that you live. So if you don't take care of that, if you can't handle the little bit of your own body and your own health, how are you going to get more? How are you going to impact other people? How are you going to leave your legacy in this world and bring people to know the love of Jesus? Yeah. How are you going to do that?
Well, that's another question then. For the people out there that tried every diet, yo-yo back and forth, beat themselves up, go for 6 months, beat themselves up, then one day they get back on program again, they repeat that crazy cycle over and over again. What encouragement can you give them to not beat themselves up and to keep moving forward, to not about punishment or belittlement, because I know who you are, but how to get off that crazy cycle and get on the journey that you've encountered in your life?
And I think also, as speaking to everybody in general, give an example, but also give an example as Christians. You speaking to other Christians that, look to the Lord and think of their bodies as the temple of the Holy Spirit. So if you can give an example for both sides of how to people to approach it and,
Well, I think to stay and do on a program, you have to tap into your why. Why are you doing it in the first place? And what helps me do that is I think of the tracks exercise. And what I mean by that, if you've never heard it, imagine that you are laying on your deathbed and that person that held your hand when you took your last breath, and now it's 15 years later, and that person who held your hand is now having coffee with somebody else that you've never met. What do you want that person to say about you? And are you living that life now? So that's how I would speak to anybody about that, especially and a Christian. The same thing. How would you do that? What do you what are you trying to leave in this world? What are you going to leave for your kids?
Good. And for the people that beat themselves up over and over again, what kind of encouragement can you give them that to stop beating themselves up? Not that you have the only answer, but
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I've fallen off and failed so many times, and time and time and time again. And you know, you can get knocked down. If it says in the Bible, if you get knocked down 7, get up that 8th time. So just keep going. Just keep going. It will get better. It will get easier, but not if you stay down. So get up.
So you've been on this journey for a long time now. What's your energy level like these days compared to when you were like not in great health?
My energy is really good. However, the last few weeks, especially, been staying up later than I normally do, and I'm kind of drained now. Actually, I'm excited to be here and be on this, but we have a big weekend scheduled this weekend, and
Talk about it.
what's that?
What's going on this weekend?
Oh, this weekend we're having our first worship night.
Promote it real quick.
So
Slowly.
yeah, if you go to bayareabreakthrough.com, you can get the links and get all the information you need. That's bayareabreakthrough.com. It's going to be from 5 till 10 p.m. on Saturday night, like 2 days from now. So get on there, register, and make sure you get on the list because we have limited availability for people to show up and worship the Lord. So it's going to be awesome.
And what city's going to be in? Dublin?
It's going to be in San Ramon.
San Ramon. Okay, nice.
So
Awesome.
if they wanted to contact you or figure out, where to go to, they could get to that. How?
That website again.
The website?
Go to bayareabreakthrough.com.
And what's because people out there don't understand our language sometimes when we're talking about, because I understand our language. She does too. What is the purpose of this? What is it about? I want to really promote it. What's it about? What's this worship thing about?
This is about being in a room with people that are worshiping the Lord and singing out praises and glory to Him so we can encounter the Holy Spirit and have Him move in that room, move in new ways with new sounds, and just give all the glory to God.
Come on. So it's indoors. I'm excited. So you're part of the worship team doing that and stuff?
Yes.
Come on.
That's what I was going to say is when real quick back to that story, after I told that story, and you're talking about connections,
mm-hmm.
is a guy that I know here in Livermore introduced me to Byron, and Byron introduced me to a potential audition at Psalm 84, which was the first church that I heard you speak at back when we first got connected. That was where I first heard you speak, and now I'm playing there every Sunday night.
Exactly.
Is that where you met Giuseppe too?
And then Giuseppe, yeah, he was on the worship team. He was the leader in charge of the audition.
Is that crazy?
I'm like, man, the first time I was in here, I was listening to my man Lonnie.
And Joel and Elsa were there. You knew them too. I was like, how y'all knew? See, people, I'm telling you, God is like, everybody is connected for a purpose and a reason. It's about Him. That is amazing. After all these years, we're still here for a purpose, right?
Look at God, right?
Sometimes I feel like I've been going around that mountain for 40 years. I got to be honest.
And it's okay because you're still here, right?
Still here, still going.
And bless my heart when you told me about, like, you got to experience the love of a wife, and sadly you have to bury a wife and I have to bury a son, and now you have grandkids, and you said great grandkid?
No, I said that when you take care of yourself, you will be able to see your great grandkids.
But you have a grandkid though, right? Grandkid, right?
I have 2 grandkids, no great.
Bro, can you imagine back in the 80s, 70s, late 70s, you're in the rock band with I remember all the guys. I can't remember the Carl. It was a Carl. I remember all the names back then. Phoenix Rising. You guys were jamming and stuff, and all those guys.
John Carpenetti and Ronnie Barber.
Yeah, can you imagine you'd be like rocking out back then? You guys were good, by the way. Can you imagine you'd be a grandpa one day?
No.
We didn't think that way back then.
We didn't.
That's okay for that age group. But now it's different. There's a legacy in place. And I'm reading your banner back. This is David Coggin, Live More Fit coach. Can you talk about more of that? Can you give more details about what that's about?
Sure. This is me, and what I'm doing is I'm offering to meet people where they are. Like some people, they don't need a workout. Some people don't, they have their nutrition dialed in. Some people just want some energy. So with all of my years of experience, I'm combining that, and I call it Live More Fit. So if you would like to, get a free health assessment, you can go to that Facebook page, or you can message me, DM me, and we'll schedule a time and we'll do your health assessment, and we'll find out what's going to work for you, because this thing we're doing, that everybody is doing, not everybody. I mean, the people that want to get healthy are doing it, and everybody isn't at the same level. So my goal is I want to meet people where they are and get them something that will work for them.
And when you say how they DM you?
They can DM me on my Facebook page.
This is David Coggin.
David Coggin. Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm gonna throw this at you real quick, because here was my excuse for many years. Healthy food, healthy living is expensive. I can't afford it. It's too much money. You're talking $400 or $500 a month for this crazy diet stuff and all this craziness. Now, I'm gonna let you talk to this. She's a fitness coach, you're a fitness coach. I'm talking like this. What I found out was it's a whole lot cheaper to live healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Food-wise. You know what caught me? I'm Facebook world, Zoom world, I'm gonna tell you what caught me. My wife never pressured me. Two things happened. We're at church, our friend Pam, her husband Tim. I said, they were talking about this program. I said, yeah, babe, but you do your thing. It's all good. She wouldn't never pressure me. But she's excited about something. And I saw Tim one day. I said, what's going on with Tim? What happened in the last month? He looks like dropped weight. That's what I'm trying to talk to you about, honey. So we went to lunch. I'm like, whatever he's doing, I want to do. But what got my attention was I was on a long work day, and I caught myself twice in one day going to Burger King and McDonald's. And I said, I was driving home from work. I was like, I don't feel good. Something's wrong. If I'm going, why am I going to 2 different fast foods in one day? This is not right. And that struck something in me. And see my buddy Tim, and what he did in 1 month, something's got to shift. And what I found out is a whole lot less expensive to transition. I got a little more work to do. I ain't arrived. I'm on the journey. I came a long way. But it wasn't about dieting. It wasn't a diet. It's about a mind shift. So I know I said a lot there. Kind of give the answer a little bit. But talk to people about it's too expensive. I can't afford it. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, my wife had a bunch of problems and digestives. And I mean, you can either pay for medication or you can pay for good food that's going to, fuel your body and sustain you. That's the whole thing is you need to have something that's sustainable, not just a quick fix for 1 or 2 months, but actually to train your mind, to train your brain to where you can break through those things that tell you, oh, I have to go to the fast food place. I mean, that is, I appreciate you and your honesty there, because that's tough, man, to do that. And then I know that feeling like that, it's just, it makes you want to go to sleep, and then you don't want to get up, you don't want to do your workouts, and it's just a vicious cycle. So get off of that hamster wheel and get back in the program and tap into your why. Why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for?
It's funny about, it might be 6 months ago now. Our daughter said, hey, I'm going to hit it out. You want to get, you know what? It's been a long time. I'll spoil you one time. Give me a double and a fry. It's been a long time. And a pink lemonade. It's been a long time. It's been over a year, right? She been back now. And it tastes good, but I ate it. I was like, it tastes good. It didn't taste worth it. My wife makes these foods, bro. I'm telling you something right now. People out there, listen. She makes these foods, these healthy foods. I said, babe, this is not healthy. Oh, it's all healthy. Babe, this cannot be. It's got cheese in it. It's got meat in it. It's got this. This cannot be healthy, babe. It's 100% healthy. I'm like, but it tastes so amazing. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel tired. I don't feel guilty.
And you drop some weight, right?
And you drop weight. I'm like, but it's real food though. But it's the combination, how you put it together. Go ahead.
I think that's a deception that people think that, and if you want to lose weight,
it
has to be carrots. It has to be things that are like have no taste, and it's so not true. There's so many amazing things that you could be eating that, I mean, it's like Lonnie's saying, like he can't even believe it. He's like, Maria, is this really like healthy for me? I said, yes, babe. It's like amazing. And he's like loving, like, oh my God, I want this every day.
It's like restaurant food, like 5-star, 4-star restaurant food. I'm like,
I mean, just a few days ago, I made something and our daughter was like, Mom, this is like something I would pay like $20 for it at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's what we want, right? And it just tastes amazing and it's healthy for you and it's just provides everything that our bodies need and it's great, right?
So that's the thing for me is what I've been learning is, because you eat 6 times a day, it's like, but it's a small amount and it's just what you need. So you're not, starving yourself and you're not getting the headaches and the hunger pains. I do get hunger pains, like a half hour before lunch, but that's because I didn't drink enough water. So that's another trigger that you're not drinking enough water. If you're not drinking half your body weight in ounces per day before your workout, you're not drinking enough.
That's good. And funny, like the food she makes, man, it's so inexpensive.
Don't tell me about any food unless you're planning on making some and having it come out. I'm not going to put up with that.
And Barry, out there in this Zoom land and Facebook land, I know we're laughing and joking, but it's important because
it's a real struggle.
I do love I do love some crazy food, and I will indulge once in a while, but it's not commonplace no more.
But I mean, like, think of it. Like today, you wanted some chicken wings,
yep,
and you air fried them.
I
mean, that's such more of a healthy choice than, sticking them in oil. You know. So there's, just great. It's about making wiser choices and changing your habits and
doing the research, find the food that's out there because one thing she taught me by example was food is energy, not a necessity.
Correct.
And we get into patterns where we either stimulate ourselves drinking or eating just to pacify ourselves. And I'm judging because people I did all this to just hopefully the pain go just to pacify ourselves for a moment
and feel that void.
And then you feel guilty afterwards. But when I eat the food I'm eating with we eat, I'm like, I feel so guilty. She would know what's in it. I'm like, but there's no bloating. Sorry, people, there's no gas in it. there's no what if it just you don't get tired afterwards, get more energy afterwards.
Yes.
And like I say, I'm still in the journey. I'm still arriving because it's a lifestyle change. It's not about diets don't work. Diets don't work.
What are the first 3 letters in the word diet?
Die.
Why do you think they're not going to work? They have to kill you.
But it is important spiritually too because we this is our temple and we want to be here to fulfill our race all the way and do everything we can because even the foods today, like I said, I haven't arrived. I'm on the journey. I'm the train. I'm the destiny I'm going to. But it's like this in the foods today. There's so much stuff they put in it to preserve it. I make most spaghetti sauce now from scratch.
Amazing.
Natural grown tomatoes, onions. I make most no preservatives in it. So, we'll freeze it because it can't last long in the refrigerator because you got to freeze it. But it tastes so amazing. And like, for example, we don't use pasta, right? We use zucchini. We make zucchini pasta noodles ourselves from scratch, and you think you're eating dang near Italian spaghetti. I mean, like it tastes like spaghetti. It's like this is spaghetti. and we have the turkey in there, and it's just like I'm getting hungry right now. It's crazy what you can, if you really do the research and put it all together. Oh my gosh.
And, and I think it's, what, like you were saying a little bit ago, David, is, and you too, honey, is about food is for energy. It's not, for this fulfillment of what I believe God is only meant to fulfill in our lives.
Yes.
But our bodies were never made to be so indulged in food the way it is nowadays. And the world and everything around us concerning food has caused us to become so dependent on food, which contains substances that are addictive, just as cocaine to our bodies.
Absolutely.
And we're like, oh, I can't do this. And we get to a place, and if we realize what's really going on, then we could break free. And I think, like for you, David, and for myself, is like getting people to understand that our bodies were never meant for that, and that there's things that are causing us to keep us in bondage, and there's freedom from that. And just to be able to help people through that freedom and meet them where they're at, like you said earlier, meet them where they're at in the different levels of their life, and help them to break free, and help them to provide all the different things that could help them break free. Whether it's their eating, whether it's something spiritual, whether it's whatever it is, but just provide the best that we can to help them. And I think what you do and what I do helps them at least get a start on that process. And I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a way of ministry. It's a form of ministry.
Absolutely.
And even put the workout for it, right? Got to work out, put some work in. A lot of gyms are closed and stuff, so it's not easy to get out. Like my gym closed a long time ago, so that's early life. I got to reincorporate back in again with my crazy schedule. But it's all the balance of it. Like I said, it becomes a lifestyle now where you're torturing yourself, but it's just part of your routine that you're used to implementing into your life. It becomes a habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a habit. It's a ritual. And we can talk about what is your ritual? How do you win your morning? How do you win your day? What is on that list, the first thing? And I hope that the first thing you do in the morning isn't pick up your phone. For me, one of the best things I can do is I have a ritual, and that can be different for everybody, but whatever it is, mine, I do all these things first before I touch my phone, because I know as soon as I have that phone in my hand, I'm distracted and I have to answer this and I have to do that. I got to hurry up. Oh, now it's time to go to work. And now you've just lost your morning, your most productive time where you have to work and connect with the Lord and connect with yourself and to do something good for yourself.
Yeah, come on.
Don't touch your phone until you get your workout and your time with the Lord and your morning ritual complete. Then you can earn a few minutes before you go to work. So,
I expect to go on this path. We're still doing our time right now. I listen, this just dropped in my spirit. And I'm going to say it. I'm not saying it's God, but no, it is God. So what's that book looking like right now you're writing?
Ooh.
Right? Yes, I love it.
That was a good one. That was a good one, Lonnie.
So here's the word. Don't look at the bigger picture. Take it back to experience, step by step by step. And he'll break down the pieces that need to be there, don't be there. I mean, just start doing the content little by little by little, because you have a message and that people need to read. Again, sometimes there's a big picture, a book. Yeah, oh gosh, that's too much. No, you have a message. It is anointed. So I feel it right. Okay, bro, this is confirmation for you. Okay, this is all confirmation. The season's now to start putting the pieces in place, by sentence, paragraph, little by little by little, before you know you'll have this manuscript that is going to change lives, spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's calling on you right now. So it's one of the directions he's going to take you in. One of the many he's going to take you in. Does that make sense to you at all?
It's already been spoken of, and prophesied into. So that is, again, confirmation on the Lord speaking through you to me.
Dropped in my spirit just now. So. And, I love that banner behind you, man. I love that. I love the picture because I know with the journey you've been on. You know, I'm grateful that we are connected again. And funny part is a different way, a more real way than before. I mean, the Peter's lifestyle was a beautiful family. Always be. If you're a Milpitas back then, you'll always be family, no matter who you are. But that's even deeper because there's just more added that he's in it now too. You know, like a lot of brothers and sisters that are connected to the Lord this way now are even deeper connected, right? You know, from Courtney to Dave Garza to who Dave Garza lost his weight too. My helped Dave Garza, Coach him. He got down to his high school weight and he did. Let's shout out to Dave Garza.
Nice. What's happening, Dave?
Yeah. So one more time before we close this out, is there any last thing you want to share just to encourage people just in the physical awakening? Like I say, because we met, when God spoke this word to, we see so many people, pre-believers and believers, also on this, like they have to start, they're just starting to get these programs, and not let's say this way. I know stuttering people, forgive me. Not a New Year's resolution. They had a anointing on them to walk this lifestyle out, and they're doing it. From pre-believers to believers, it's an awakening in the physical body arena going on. But anything you can share to encourage people before we close out a little bit?
Yeah, I think that you know, there's no way you can feel good about yourself if you're 50 pounds or more or less overweight. And if you've been thinking about it and wanting to do it and just frustrated because you think that none of it works, I just invite you to either connect with Maria or myself, and we will meet you where you are, and we will find something that works, guaranteed. All we need you to do is to raise your hand and say, I'm ready. We need you to make that decision, take that picture, that selfie picture, and you don't have to show anybody that you did it or even told them. Just take the picture, make the decision, because that is your declaration that day one starts now. So I encourage you to make your day, not someday, not day one or one day, but make it day one and start today.
Yes.
Good job. I got to jump in real quick. See your picture behind you in the banner?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the guy that hides behind people taking pictures. Because I want and get the right angle, because I look a little, you know, because I take pictures now. And again, I got more work to do. You know, I put a little COVID on, but not much. I didn't go ballistic, and that's why I got videos now. But how sad did I feel about myself, because I want to hide behind people. You know, I want to see myself. We said take the picture and look at it. It's not to condemn a person, say, listen, this is what you're hiding from.
Right.
Let's do something about it now.
Let's do it.
We help you.
Let's make a change together.
Yeah.
So brother, we're here to promote. We have our businesses. We have our coaching business. We want to promote you and what you're doing, because you're an amazing man. We love you. We're about you. Again, if they want to hear about your coaching, you're in the Bay Area and beyond. How can they connect with you? If they have questions, they want to get the free assessment again, they want to just be vulnerable with you, just say, hey, I don't understand this. How do they get a hold of you?
Just message me on Facebook Messenger. It's the quickest way to get in my DM, and I'll have a conversation, and we'll see if this is right for you.
That's David Coggin, right on the banner, DAVID. Coggin, COGGIN on Facebook. Oh. Well, brother, we love you. Thank you for your time. We had fun with it, but it was very serious stuff at the same time. And we all got to connect together. And we have to have a big one sometime with Giuseppe and everybody else together, right? On this topic. And just
Saturday night, BayAreaBreakthrough.com. Boom.
Come on. All right, brother. Love you, man.
Love you.
Have a blessed night.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.